What if I told you that one single mistake, one moment of poor judgment, could change the course of a player's entire career? What if I told you that a decision made in a split second could destroy years of hard work, sacrifice, and dedication? And what if I told you that this exact scenario happened to one of the most promising young players in tennis, Alex Eala, at the most prestigious tournament in the world? This is the shocking story of how a costly mistake at Wimbledon changed Alex Eala's dream forever. It was supposed to be her breakthrough moment. The tournament where she would announce herself to the world. The tournament where she would prove that she belongs among the best. The tournament where she would make history. But instead, it became a nightmare. A single error, something so small, so seemingly insignificant. So what exactly happened? What was the mistake? How did it change everything? And most importantly, can Alex Eala recover from this devastating setback? In this video, I am going to reveal the full story. I am going to break down exactly what went wrong. I am going to analyze the consequences. And I am going to ask the question that everyone is asking: was this the end of Alex Eala's Wimbledon dream, or just a painful chapter in her journey? So sit back, grab your popcorn, and prepare to be shocked. Because this story is going to leave you speechless. Let's get into it. To understand the magnitude of this costly mistake, we first have to understand what Alex Eala's Wimbledon dream meant, not just to her, but to an entire nation. For years, Wimbledon has been the ultimate goal for every tennis player. It is the most prestigious tournament in the world. It is the home of tennis. It is where legends are made. And for Alex Eala, Wimbledon represented everything she had worked for since he was a child. She had sacrificed so much to get to this point. She had left her home in the Philippines at the age of 13 to train in Spain. She had spent countless hours on the practice court. She had missed birthdays, holidays, and family gatherings. She had given up a normal childhood to chase her dream. And it had all been worth it. Because in 2026, Alex Eala was seated at Wimbledon for the first time in her career. She had reached world number 47. She had beaten top players. She had won big tournaments. She was ready. The Philippines was ready too. The entire nation was behind her. Fans had booked flights to London. They had bought tickets. They had prepared banners and flags. They believed that this was the year that a Filipino player would make history at Wimbledon. Eala herself was confident. She had trained hard. She had prepared meticulously. She knew the grass at Wimbledon. She knew the conditions. She knew what to expect. Her first round opponent was a player ranked outside the top 100, a player she had beaten before. The draw had been favorable. The path to the second round, the third round, and even the quarterfinals seemed achievable. The stars appeared to be aligning. Eala stepped onto court 14 at Wimbledon with a smile on her face. The sun was shining. The crowd was cheering. Everything felt perfect. She won the first set comfortably. Her game was flowing. Her serve was working. Her forehand was finding the corners. She looked like a player who belonged on the biggest stage in tennis. The second set was tighter, but she managed to win it in a tiebreak. She was now one set away from the second round. The crowd was behind her. Her team was cheering from the players' box. And somewhere in the Philippines, millions of fans were watching on TV, praying for her to close out the match. And then it happened. A moment of carelessness. A moment of poor judgment. A moment that would change everything. So what exactly was the costly mistake that changed Alex Eala's Wimbledon dream? Let me take you back to that moment. Eala was serving for the match. She was up 5-4 in the third set. She had match points. She could feel the victory within her grasp. But then, her mind wandered. She looked at the scoreboard. She looked at her team. She thought about what it would feel like to win her first match at Wimbledon as a seeded player. And in that moment, she lost focus. Her serve was slightly slower. Her footwork was slightly off. Her concentration wavered. Her opponent, sensing the shift in momentum, pounced. She hit a deep return. Eala rushed to the net. She mishit the volley. The ball went wide. Break point. Eala took a deep breath. She told herself to reset. But the damage had already been done. On the next point, she double faulted. A simple, avoidable mistake. A serve that sailed long. She had just given the break back to her opponent. The crowd gasped. Her team looked stunned. Eala herself could not believe it. And that was the turning point. From that moment on, Eala's game fell apart. Her confidence evaporated. Her shots lost their sting. Her movement became sluggish. Her opponent, who had been on the verge of defeat, suddenly believed she could win. And she did. She held serve easily. She broke Eala again. She served out the match. In less than 10 minutes, Alex Eala had gone from being 1 point away from victory to losing the match. It was a collapse of epic proportions. A collapse that no one could have predicted. A collapse that left everyone in shock. And the worst part? The mistake was so avoidable. Eala had been cruising. She had dominated the match. She had played some of the best tennis of her career. And then, in a moment of carelessness, she had thrown it all away. The tennis world was stunned. Commentators struggled to find the words. Fans were heartbroken. And Alex Eala herself was inconsolable. She walked off the court with tears streaming down her face. She knew she had blown it. She knew she had let the opportunity slip through her fingers. And she knew that she would have to live with that mistake for the rest of her life. The consequences of that costly mistake were immediate and devastating. First, there was the emotional toll. Eala was shattered. She had been so close, to achieving her Wimbledon dream. And in one moment of carelessness, she had lost everything. She struggled to sleep. She struggled to eat. She struggled to even pick up a racket. The pain was overwhelming. Her team tried to comfort her. Her family tried to reassure her. Her fans sent messages of support. But none of it helped. Eala was consumed by regret. Second, there was the ranking impact. Wimbledon offers huge ranking points. A first-round loss gives you almost nothing. A second-round loss would have given her more points. A third-round run could have propelled her into the top 30. But because she lost in the first round, she earned very few points. Her ranking stagnated. She missed out on the opportunity to climb even higher. Third, there was the financial impact. Wimbledon offers massive prize money. Reaching the second round would have earned her significantly more money. That money could have helped her team, her coaching, her travel, and her overall career development. But because she lost early, she earned much less. Fourth, there was the psychological impact. The loss was a blow to Eala's confidence. She began to doubt herself. She questioned whether she was good enough. She wondered if she would ever get another chance like this. And fifth, there was the media scrutiny. The tennis media is unforgiving. They analyzed her collapse in excruciating detail. They questioned her mental strength. They questioned her ability to handle pressure. They questioned whether she would ever be a Grand Slam champion. The criticism was brutal. And Eala felt it deeply. But perhaps the biggest consequence was the loss of momentum. Eala had been on a roll. She had been winning matches. She had been climbing the rankings. She had been building confidence. And then, suddenly, it all came crashing down. She had to start over. She had to rebuild her confidence. She had to prove herself all over again. And that is the cruel reality of tennis. One mistake can undo months of hard work. When Alex Eala suffered that heartbreaking loss at Wimbledon, the tennis world reacted with shock, sympathy, and criticism. Let us start with the players. Many of Eala's fellow players reached out to her privately. They sent messages of support. They told her that they had been through similar experiences. They encouraged her to keep fighting. But publicly, the reactions were mixed. Some players defended Eala. They said that everyone makes mistakes. They said that she was young and would learn from the experience. They said that she had a bright future ahead of her. But others were more critical. They said that she should have been more focused. They said that she needed to develop more mental toughness. They said that she had let the occasion get to her. Now, let us talk about the experts. Tennis commentators and analysts had a field day with Eala's collapse. Some were sympathetic. Others were ruthless. One commentator said, "This is a painful lesson for Alex Eala. She had the match in her hands. She was 1 point away from victory. But she lost focus. She made mistakes. And she paid the price." Another commentator was even harsher. "This is a player who has the talent to win Grand Slams. But talent is not enough. You need mental strength. You need focus. You need discipline." And Alex Eala showed none of that today. But there were also voices of reason. Rennie Stubbs, the former doubles champion, said everyone is being too harsh on Alex Eala. She is 21 years old. She is learning. She will make mistakes. She will grow from this. Give her time. And then there were the fans. The Filipino fans were heartbroken. They had dreamed of celebrating a Wimbledon victory. They had prepared for a party. And instead, they got heartbreak. But they did not abandon Eala. They rallied around her. They sent messages of love and support. They told her that they were proud of her. They told her that they would always believe in her. One fan wrote, "It hurts. It really hurts. But we love you, Alex. We will always love you. This is not the end. This is just a setback." Another fan wrote, "You are still our hero, Alex. You have made us proud. This one loss does not define you. Get back up. Keep fighting. We believe in you." The love from her fans was overwhelming. And it helped Eala heal. So, the big question, can Alex Eala recover from this costly mistake? The answer is yes. But it will not be easy. Recovery will require several things. First, she needs to forgive herself. Eala must accept that mistakes happen. She must stop beating herself up. She must realize that one loss does not define her career. Second, she needs to learn from the experience. Every loss is a lesson. Eala must analyze what went wrong. She must understand why she lost focus. She must develop strategies to prevent it from happening again. Third, she needs to rebuild her confidence. Confidence is everything in tennis. Eala must find ways to believe in herself again. She must remind herself of her achievements. She must focus on her strengths. Fourth, she needs to work harder. The competition at the top is fierce. Eala cannot afford to rest on her laurels. She must continue to train, improve, and evolve. Fifth, she needs to stay patient. Greatness takes time. Eala is only 21 years old. She has a long career ahead of her. She must trust the process and stay patient. And finally, she needs to remember why she started playing tennis in the first place, because she loves the game. The love of the game is what will get her through this. The love of the game is what will help her bounce back. The love of the game is what will make her stronger. So yes, Alex Eala can recover from this costly mistake. She can use it as fuel. She can turn it into motivation. She can come back stronger than ever. And I believe she will. Because Alex Eala is not a quitter. She is a fighter. She is a champion. And champions do not let one mistake define them. She will learn. She will grow. She will rise again. And one day, she will achieve her Wimbledon dream.